Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Life with Lena. Today we're going to be talking about tips and tricks for starting your weight loss journey. And hopefully by the end of this video, you can figure out what tips and tricks will help you when you're starting your weight loss journey and they can help you along the way. So, number one is what I call having a plan. So, maybe I've talked about this before, but I use Noom and it's an app where I track what I eat, how much I weigh, and what movement and exercise I'm getting. It also has a couple fun aspects. That's what I meant. Now, this is not sponsored, but I'm just talking about this. So you need to have some type of plan. Whether you're journaling in a notebook or you're using MyFitnessPal or Noom or really like your notes app, you can use anything. You just need to have a way to track your progress. So that could include like counting your calories, like I've talked about in my last video, or like different things that you're just going to use on the app to help you be consistent in what you're doing. So, number one would be having a plan. And so, yeah, like I said, I use Noom. Okay, so the next tip and trick is this is what I call throw away or trash the stash. So trashing the stash, what does that mean? So let's say you're at home. Do you ever have like that one container of ice cream in the freezer that when you're feeling sad and down, you go to immediately? Yeah, that's a stash. Or maybe you have a couple of those little granola bars in your center console, or maybe some gummy snacks in your desk at work. You need to get rid of those. Even though it might be hard, it's going to make your life a lot easier when you are trying to lose weight because those are the things you go to automatically without even thinking about it. And if you're not tracking every single thing you eat, those are just going to go over your head and you're not going to understand why you gained weight, but it's because you didn't think about when you had that gummy snack at work or when you had a little bit of ice cream before you went to bed. It's just a little thing, right? Wrong. You need to think about these things. So, trashing the stash. The next tip, trick type of thing is meal prepping. Guys, it sounds so hard, right? You don't want to meal prep. Who wants to eat leftovers every day? But it's very, very beneficial. So I actually do meal prep. I don't do videos about it because it's something I do like with my family and this is my channel and they're camera shy, so yeah. Anyway, meal prepping. So when you meal prep, usually for my family we would do like a veggie, some type of whether we're doing like a starch, like a potato, or and then a meat. And it really just depends. So like sometimes it would be, oh, we're gonna have beef and rice, and like roasted broccoli. So usually my favorite thing to have, I would say for meal prepping, is a box of roasted broccoli and then grilled chicken and then sometimes roasted potatoes or something, but I usually don't eat that. I just have like the chicken and the vegetable and maybe some fruit or some yogurt, something to go along with that. And then meal prepping, like again, it's super helpful, but maybe you're gonna be like, why is that helpful? It doesn't make any sense. Well, when have you ever came home from work and been like, I'm so tired, I'm just gonna go get that ice cream out of the freezer that I told you to get rid of, or gonna order in some pizza or something, because you're just exhausted. You don't want to have to deal with food, and it's easy to make that excuse. Well, when you have your meal prep in the fridge that you made on Sunday, it took a couple hours, but you eat it once you get home, you you're making like you can't make that excuse because you have a reason. You don't you just have to stick it in the microwave. There's no big deal other than that. So meal prepping is definitely another one of those big tips that I would definitely suggest and that I think is very beneficial to when you're losing weight. Another trick that I would say is helpful is having goals. And in the coming video next week, we're going to be talking about different goals and like how they affect your weight loss. But I think one of the goals that you can set is like movement goals. A lot of people don't think about when you have activity that you're doing while you're trying to lose weight, and they're like, oh, maybe if I just eat healthy every day or eat less every day, it'll make a difference. And it will, but you definitely need to focus on activity. And so when you can have consistent things like a class or like I have my dance fitness, which some of you maybe you don't know a bunch of about that, but like dance fitness or Zumba or a sport of some sort, or you go on runs with your friends or you work out at the gym with a trainer, something consistent, that is super helpful. And you just need to keep your activity up because activity plus health makes the weight come off much faster. Another thing though, just side note, but even when you're working out on activity, you want to make sure you're eating consistently. Sometimes you might gain weight while you're having activity, but that's probably due to gain of muscle, not gain of fat. And when you gain more muscle, you're actually going to be burning more fat, so it's not a huge problem. So don't get stressed out if you start working out and then you're like, why is the scale going up? All right, guys, I have the last helpful tip trick. Um, so this one is having something to hold you accountable. Oh my word. Accountability is so important. So for me, this is actually one of the things why I started this channel is because I wanted to have YouTube hold me accountable. And that's why I do my day briefs before, like I usually do them before dinner because then like I have to eat that healthy thing that I said I was going to eat for dinner, right? Um, and I have to do that exercise even if I didn't do it yet. But YouTube is seeing me do that, and I think I use YouTube as something holding me accountable. Now, of course, your meals, like if you have a plan, that's also going to hold you accountable, which is super great. And then another thing that can hold you accountable as well is like if you have a buddy, it's really good to have a buddy, a friend, somebody maybe you can text, someone you can go on runs with, someone that's going to tell you, hey, what are you doing? Like, why aren't you doing your workout? Like I know I said in the first video I made that like cheating is failing, and so when you're cheating you need I call it a treat day because you're treating yourself to the pleasures of delicious food, whereas cheating is just like you know it, and so I call it treat. But anyway, when you have somebody who's gonna tell you and they're gonna be like, hey, why are you like cheating? Like that's not gonna help you. Or like, hey, why didn't you come to that run on Saturday? Maybe you had something go on, but like you need someone that maybe even too, if they're on their weight loss journey, you guys can both hold each other accountable and maybe even schedule a treat day together. But that will really help you like enjoy it, but you definitely need something to hold you accountable. So I do love having YouTube though. Even if you don't want to like start a channel, just talking to somebody or have something or even like a journal or there's sometimes like apps where it'll send you like a notification like log this like or like why didn't you like send in your daily thing that you do consistently, and all these things are really going to help you with your weight loss journey, and like all the things that I've talked about so far help hold you accountable, like the meal prepping and the plan. But these things are super important on your weight loss journey. So this is the end of the video. So thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you liked it, and I hope this video helped you a lot or a little bit. Just I hope it was helpful, and I'm going to continue making them. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Love you guys. Bye.